Hello, everyone. Good evening or good morning. And it's a pleasure to have with me today Kylie Swanson. Kylie is a recent graduate of the MC ABB course. He graduated in the 2020-2021 year, which is the infamous COVID year, during which the course ran completely online. Hello, Kylie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, about your background, what you did before joining Imperial College, and why you joined Imperial College.
Okay, so I'm from New York originally in the US, and in undergrad, I majored in computer science and mathematics, so not really anything related to biology. But I sort of realized over the course of my undergrad career that what I was mostly interested in was machine learning, and very specifically, machine learning applied to problems in biology and medicine. So in undergrad, I started working on a project that was related to mammography, so trying to use machine learning to detect breast cancer in mammograms. And I really liked that. And then I actually continued at MIT and did a master's degree there. And in my master's degree, moved a little bit more into the biology realm, where I was applying machine learning to problems in drug discovery, where we were trying to build models that could look at molecules and predict various properties, such as whether a molecule might serve as a good drug or not. And kind of throughout that whole process, I realized more and more that I was very interested in applications within biology, but I didn't have a strong background. And that's kind of what led me to Imperial, because I thought that this biotechnology course would be a really good way to build up some more of my biology background, and therefore let me work on these sorts of problems with machine learning applied to biology.
Right, that's particularly, it's unusually specific already insight for someone at your age. Normally students join without really knowing exactly what is it that they're interested in doing, but you had already quite a clear plan to start with. Do you still have the same plan?
Yeah, no, my plan is still the same. I mean, I really enjoyed the course at Imperial, and it kind of confirmed my interest in biological applications of machine learning. And so that's actually exactly what I'm trying to do right now in my PhD, is also apply machine learning to problems in biology and medicine.
Right. So is yours let's say a scientific interest, or do you see yourself doing this because you have already an application in mind? If not for the world, for yourself, let's say, do you want to go on and do this as a way to create a business or join a business, or you want to keep doing this in academia?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I'm honestly not totally sure yet whether I want to stay in academia or move into industry. But I mean, I think generally I've just really enjoyed the research process and kind of figuring out new ways to apply computational methods to problems in biology and medicine. And I want to keep working on those sorts of problems. I guess kind of my original motivation was that in undergrad, I went through a series of health problems and spent some time in the hospital. And so I saw that there was really a lot of room where we could improve by applying computational techniques. So that's kind of been my continuing motivation, is to see if we can develop even better drugs or even better treatments using computational techniques applied to biology and medicine.
Right. So what did you work on as a research project while you were in London?
Yeah, so my research project was focused on bacterial chemotaxis, and specifically trying to apply information theory to bacterial chemotaxis. So essentially the idea is that bacteria are kind of swimming around in their environment and they're trying to find a food source. But in order to identify the food source and swim in that direction, they need to process a certain amount of information about their environment. So they need to sense ligands and nutrients in the environment, and through that sensing, figure out which direction to swim. And what we were interested in seeing is basically how much information does a bacteria need to process in order to quickly identify the correct direction and move in that direction. So we're actually using a lot of mathematical techniques from information theory, plus some computational simulations to figure out in various information limited environments how exactly would a bacteria respond? What would its best strategy be to try to find that food source? So it's basically some interesting simulations showing how a bacteria might respond in such a situation.
Right. So quite a minimalistic and to the point setup. Very interesting.
Yeah.
On a different note, you graduated for your undergrad at MIT, right? And then you moved to Imperial. How did you find the two universities? What was, I mean, obviously one was during COVID time and the other wasn't. So, but did you find any interesting difference in terms of, cultural differences? I guess one also is in the US, the other is in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, there are quite a few differences, and I guess there's also the undergraduate versus graduate difference.
Right, of course.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I guess I felt like maybe one of the biggest differences, and this might be something that's a little particular to the ABB course, is that in undergrad, I was used to taking kind of semester-long classes, so be doing like 4 or so classes all at the same time throughout a semester. Whereas in the ABB course, it's a series of 2-week modules, but you're just doing one module at a time. And in some ways, I actually really enjoyed that schedule, because then you're entirely focused on just one subject. You can go really into depth and just think about one thing for a few weeks before moving on to the next thing. There's also a very nice sampling of lots of different topics, because every 2 weeks you get to do something entirely new. So I did really enjoy that kind of structure in that way to like try a lot of different, very interesting things within biotechnology.
Okay, good. That makes me very happy. Did you actually manage to get to London at all?
I did, yeah. I was in London all of last year,
Okay.
just working from home though.
Yeah. Okay. For those who might not follow but might not know, I mean, all the teaching was remote actually, but the lab project was not. So it's good that you managed to. And did you manage to meet people? Did you make friends?
A little bit. I mean, it was kind of difficult in the COVID year. I mean, one of the good things is that I think in every one of the 2-week modules, there was some kind of group project. So that was a nice way to like meet people over Zoom and chat a little bit. And I did like towards the end of the year, meet a few people. I shadowed a student in the lab for a few days and got to know a few people in the lab. So I met a few people, but not as many as I wish I could have.
Right. So now you said you're going to start a PhD, or perhaps you already started a PhD.
Yeah, I've already started. Yeah.
So how did you find the position? Was it did you apply from London, or was it a position you already had in mind before?
Yeah, this was something that I applied to last year in London. So I applied to like several different computer science PhD programs and ended up at Stanford University right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations.
Thanks.
So this is going to be a PhD in computer science, but are you collaborating with someone who's going to give you biological data as well?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess right now in the first year, at least, the way that this program works is you do 3 rotations before aligning with an advisor. So I don't know who my permanent advisor is going to be, but I'm trying to rotate with 3 different computer science professors, all of whom are very interested in working on biomedical problems. So for instance, with my current advisor, what we're working on is tissue imaging data, and we're collaborating with a startup company that has a ton of this tissue imaging data using this new technology called Codex. And so they're providing us all of the data and a lot of the biological insights, and then we're trying to apply some computational techniques to it. So it's a very close collaboration between computer scientists in my department, along with biologists at the company. I'm definitely hoping to continue those sorts of collaborations. And it was definitely made a lot easier with everything that I learned in the biotechnology program, because I feel like I have a lot of the vocabulary to be able to talk to these people, understand all the biology that they're discussing, and then apply computational techniques to it.
Well, that's good. It's great to hear, and I think it's it's not very common that a student can manage to be so successful as you were, and moving from computer science to maths and biology. So congratulations, really. This is it's a rare skill, and I'm honored that you joined the course, and I'm looking forward to seeing your scientific successes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right. So thank you, Kylie. It was nice talking to you, and good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you. It was great talking to you too.
Bye.